Hello, welcome back. This is part 2 of a quick tips video on how to learn all the notes on the fretboard. In this episode, we're going to talk about shapes of octaves all the way up the fretboard, and this is going to help you learn the fretboard. Between the first episode, we learned all the notes on the first 4 frets. Now we're going to learn more notes. This is where if you want to learn the notes on the E string and the A string to start, because this would help you if you knew all the notes on those strings, okay? But we're going to just take it from the shape. I'm going to show you 2 shapes, okay? And we're going to run them up and down, or up at least, so you get the idea of how to find notes on the fretboard. Plus, I did an entire video on octaves. It's called Jazz Up Your Blues, and I'm going to link it to this one where it's more in depth about octaves and how to play in octaves and stuff. But right now we're trying to learn notes on fretboards. So we're going to start. We're not going to use any open notes, okay? So we're going to start up on the F note on the big E string, and we're going to play that note, and then we're going to go down 2 strings and over 2 frets. So that puts us right here. And I use my pinky because, you know, it's a stretch. So I recommend you use your pinky. And again, we learned about, you know, assigning fingers to frets, okay? But in this case, we're going to use our index and pinky probably for most of this. Okay, so I played the F note, I went down 2 strings, and I went up 2 frets, and I'm playing another F note. That's 8 tones apart. That's an octave. Okay, so now you know if there's an F there, there's an F there. Okay, so let's go up. This will help you find notes when you're first learning all the notes on the fretboard. So we got an F, we got an F sharp, we got a G. See, I'm moving the exact same shape where it's play the note, go down 2 strings and over 2 frets, play those 2 notes. That's a G and that's a G. So now you know how to find another G. There's a G here, there's a G here. Okay, plus there's an open G, and there's going to be a lot of G's. Okay, 1 on every string. Okay, so that's a G, G sharp, that's an A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. See, we didn't use the open string, but so if you did an open string, there'd be an open E and an E here. If you did it on the open string. Okay, so on the big E string, that's the shape we use. We use exactly the same shape when we go down to the A string. We're going down 1 string. So now this is A sharp, let's call it, because we're going to go up. So call that A sharp. And if we go down 2 strings and over 2 frets, we have that same note. That's a B flat or an A sharp. Okay? So then we've got A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. So there's an A here, there's an A here. So there's a D there. That means there's a D down 2 strings and over 2. There's a D there. Okay. Right, D. Down 2. Down 2 strings and over 2. D. Okay. So that's on the top 2 strings. You're going to practice that. You got that shape, okay? When you go further down now, you know, we've got that pesky little B string that's going to cause a problem. So now what we have to do is we have to go down 2 strings and up 3 frets to there. So that's a little more of a stretch. So this D sharp, E, F sharp, G. Remember there was a G here before we found that G? Now we're at it again, only we're going in a different shape. G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D. Okay, so you have 2 shapes. First one is the root note down 2 strings over 2 frets. When you get down on the D string and below, it's the root note and then it's up 3 frets. Down 2 strings and up 3 frets. Same thing when you go down one more A flat, go down on the G string, first note it'd either be a G sharp or an A flat, right? So you go down 2 strings and up 3 frets, and there you have that. So you got a flat, an A sharp, A flat, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G. Okay? So that will help you find, so if I got like a G here, then I go to that G, I know if I go to my down 2 and over, up 3, I got a G here. Okay, so this is the beginning. In the next episode, we're going to do every note on every string. Okay, but this was to help you find notes on the fretboard. Okay, so like in the last episode, you learned them all on the first 4 strings, right? So you all know your cowboy chord shapes. So now that you know all the notes on the first 4 frets, you actually know what notes are under the shapes that you've been playing, like G, B, D, G, that kind of stuff. C, E, G, C. You're learning what's under the shape you're playing. So that's another important thing, okay? So we're going to see you in the next video, and we're going to learn all about all the notes on the fretboard and how to memorize them, okay? So we'll be back soon.